Welcome to the old Mayfield place where we've been homesteading for more than 30 years. Today we're talking about the pros and cons of raising chickens for eggs. On the one hand, raising chickens for eggs can be incredibly rewarding. Not only do you get the satisfaction of providing your own food, but you also get to enjoy the company of these charming and sometimes hilarious creatures. Plus, you can save money on your groceries by producing your own eggs. But on the other hand, there are also some downsides to consider. Raising chickens can be time-consuming and require a lot of effort to maintain their health and safety. And if you're not careful, you can end up with more eggs than you know what to do with. This leads to waste and the need to find creative ways to use them up. So whether you're considering raising chickens for eggs or just curious about the ins and outs of this hobby, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video. We'll be diving into both the pros and the cons of raising chickens. The price of eggs has tripled or more in the last couple of years. Today, a dozen eggs will cost you about $4, and that's actually down from a month ago. Do you wonder if it might be more cost-effective to raise your own? Maybe, maybe not. Let's break down the cost of raising chickens. We'll start with the monthly cost of feeding chickens and assume that you already have a coop and some hens. We have 15 laying chickens, 2 roosters, 4 meat hens, 6 ducks, and 2 guineas that all get the same feed. That's 29 birds for 2 people. We purchase about 400 pounds of poultry grain once a month at $27.40 per 100 pounds, or about $110 per month, or $1,320 per year to feed all the birds. That's a cost of about $3.79 per bird per month. And our laying hens give us about 200 eggs each per year, or about 3,000 eggs per year for 15 birds. That's 250 dozen eggs per year. For our 15 laying hens, our feed bill works out to be about $682 per year. Dividing $682 by 250 dozen, the cost of a dozen eggs works out to be about $2.73. This is a savings of about $1.27 per dozen. If you go through a dozen eggs a week, you will save about $66 a year. We've been doing this for many years and have all the required infrastructure already set up. Setup costs are a one-time only expense, but if you're just getting started, you have to consider them also. First, you need a chicken coop and run. With the price of lumber these days, it's going to cost you a couple of $1,000s for a coop like this. It's a 12x6 wood frame building that's clad in metal. You can build chicken tractors that you move once or twice a day to keep your chickens in during the summer. But depending on how harsh your weather gets, you may need something more enclosed during the winter. We've never used a chicken tractor, but Jason over at So the Land has built many, so you may want to check out his channel on how to do it. Or you can get creative and use an old stock trailer to house your chickens in. We got this trailer for free, and we put about $100 worth of hardware cloth and screws into it to make it predator-proof. We used recycled roofing to make the awnings that open and close, making it warmer in the winter and providing airflow in the summer. It's a bit hillbilly, but it serves its purpose and was nearly free. If you live in town, this probably won't be an option for you, but it works for us because you can't see it from the road. Because our birds truly free range, which means they have the run of the farm, we have a very small chicken run for them. About the only time they're confined to the chicken run is when we've had a problem with a predator in the area, such as a coyote or a bobcat. We purchased 2 used dog kennels to use as bird pens, one for the chickens and one for the ducks, that we can open into one larger area. I think we paid about $100 for both kennels, but that was years ago. If you buy a new kennel today, one will cost you about $300. An electric chicken fence will cost about $200 for a 160-foot roll. But remember that chickens can easily fly over a 4-foot high fence, so you will need to clip their wings. So now that you have a place for your chickens to live, it's time to get the birds. If you buy day-old chicks, you're going to spend about $3 to $4 per chick. No one needs 17 laying hens for 2 people, and it's recommended that you keep 2 birds per person in your household. Many cities and towns will allow up to 6 backyard chickens, so 6 chicks will cost you around $20 to $25. That's not bad, is it? Well, if you buy chicks, you will need a place to brood them. You will need a brooder box, a feeder, a waterer, bedding, and a heat lamp to keep them warm. So far, you've spent about $100 just getting baby chicks that have to stay inside until they completely feather out, or maybe longer. And if you don't know how to raise them, you may lose some. You may lose some even if you do know how to raise them. On the other hand, you can consider getting pullets, which are female chickens that haven't started laying yet, but should start soon. Pullets will cost you around $15 to $30, so 6 will cost you about $90 if you can find someone local to sell you some. But they will be ready to go straight into your chicken pen when you bring them home and should start laying almost immediately. Chicks won't start giving you any eggs until they are 4 to 5 months old. You will probably feed them the difference before you start getting a return on your investment. So to get started, you're going to spend about $200 on housing, $200 on fencing, $10 on a waterer, $10 on a feeder, $90 on pullets, and about $30 on your first 100 pounds of feed. Although you can start more inexpensively, it's probably going to cost you about $540 to set up. And you're going to save about $66 a year on eggs. So it's going to take you 8 years to recoup your initial costs. Chickens only lay for about 4 years, so you're going to have to replace your ladies about halfway through that time. So is raising laying hens worth it? I think so. I love my birds. I love the fresh eggs they give me. I love watching them run across the yard. I enjoy hearing them cackle as they talk to each other. And I laugh when they've laid an egg and are so proud of themselves that they must announce their accomplishment to the world. But we got started when everything was much less expensive. It might be more economical for you to find a farmer close to you that sells farm eggs. You will get eggs that are more nutritious than those that you buy in the store, and none of the expense and hassle of raising chickens. You also need to be aware that chickens are the gateway animal of the homestead, and if you don't watch out, you will end up with 31 birds and only 2 people eating the eggs. If you want to learn more about life on the homestead, watch this next. Thank you for stopping by the old Mayfield place today. Stay healthy. Are you ready to start raising chickens? And have a blessed week.